You don't remember the first winter you survived, but your mother does. She told you the snow that year fell so quietly, it made the world sound like it was holding its breath. Outside, the wind howled along the fjords, and the pine trees groaned under the weight of frozen air. But inside the longhouse, there was warmth. Not the kind of warmth that hums through wires or radiates from vents, but a living, breathing warmth, firelight, wool, and people. You were swaddled in sheepskin and placed near the hearth, not far from the soft snoring of your grandmother, who dreamed in riddles. The flickering glow of the embers danced along the curved ceiling beams like old spirits stretching their limbs. That was your first bed. That was your first night. It's been many winters since, and now the snow is falling again. Thick, silent, heavy, muffling the world in its soft blanket. You pull your cloak tighter around your shoulders as you return from the woods, arms full of firewood, fingers tingling with cold. The sun set hours ago, though it never climbed high today. That's how it is in the deep north. Days come and go like a candle's flicker. Light is precious here. Inside, the longhouse hums with low voices and the creaking of old timber. The animals have been brought in. Their body heat is a quiet blessing. You lay the wood down gently and let the heat from the fire kiss your cheeks. This is the hour when no one speaks unless they must. The world is winding down. You know what comes next. The familiar rhythm, the wrapping of woolen blankets, the gentle scraping of feet on straw, the hush of bodies settling close together. This is not bedtime. This is a ritual, one repeated every night for centuries. Unspoken, instinctual. You don't think about sleep. It just comes. Like snow, like breath. Outside, the wind moves like something ancient. It presses against the walls, sighing with the voice of things older than memory. But you are not afraid. You have known this wind your whole life, and in this house, beneath this roof, among your people, you will rest again tonight. Like your mother, like your grandmother, like the women before them whose names are now only carried in dreams. You never chased sleep. It came to you like dusk rolling down the mountains. There was no counting sheep, no anxious turning, no wondering if you'd fall asleep in time to rise with the sun, because here in your world, sleep was not something you feared losing. It was part of the rhythm, like breath, like the tide that carried your brother's ships out to sea and back again. By now, the longhouse has quieted. A few murmurs drift like embers, soft and slow, then vanish into stillness. You've pulled the furs over your body. The scent of lanolin and cedar clings to the wool. Nearby, someone sighs, not out of worry, but in the gentle surrender of a body preparing to let go. There are no clocks to tell you what time it is, but your body knows. The fire has settled into a quiet red. The animals have stopped shifting. Your limbs grow heavy. Your breath grows long. You feel the sleep coming, not rushing, not demanding, but as natural as twilight. This isn't the kind of sleep that falls all at once. Like a trap door, it arrives slowly, curling around your feet first. Your legs relax. Your shoulders sink. The last thing you notice is your breath, slow, wide, whole. Your people believe sleep is a time of cleansing, not just of the body, but of the soul. The day's labors leave the mind cluttered, but when you rest, those thoughts untangle themselves like hair in warm water. You're not supposed to fight the tiredness. You welcome it. You trust it. Outside, the wind presses against the turf walls, but you are far from its reach. Somewhere out there, the stars are hidden behind a veil of snow. But you don't need to see them. You know they're there. Just as you know the sleep will take you. No one in your village stays awake out of restlessness. No one fears the night. You grew up knowing that when the day ends, the world turns inwards, not with anxiety, but with a deep exhale. And so you close your eyes, not because you're escaping the day, but because you're entering a new part of it. The quiet part, the healing part, the part that asks nothing of you but to be still. Tonight, as every night, you surrender to it. The sleep doesn't steal you away. It welcomes you home. You awaken softly, as if your body knew it was time. There's no panic. No confusion. The dark hasn't changed, but something inside you has stirred, gently, like a hand resting on your shoulder, not shaking you, but inviting you to rise. Around you, the longhouse breathes, slow, steady, shared. This is not insomnia. This is not a problem. This is the hour between sleeps. The embers still glow in the hearth. A warm orange breath in the belly of the room. You ease yourself up without sound, pulling the heavy blanket aside. Your feet touch the straw-covered boards, cold but not unkind. Others are awake too. You see a flicker of movement near the far wall. Your father perhaps adding wood to the fire. No one speaks. Words feel too sharp for this hour. Instead, there's a language of glances, of shared stillness, of quiet companionship in the middle of night. You move slowly, carefully. You dip a ladle into the water basin, sip just enough to wet your mouth. The cold slips down your throat like a river beneath ice. Beside you, your sister sits weaving. Her fingers work even now in the silence. She doesn't need light. She's done it 1,000 times. This in-between time isn't wasted. It's soft, like wool left to soak. A time for tending. You check on the sleeping goat at the door, wrap another fur around the baby's feet. You sit for a while and let your mind wander, not in circles, but like a stream meandering through quiet woods. Sometimes you pray, not loudly, not ritually, just a whispered thought to the old gods that watch the night. Sometimes you do nothing at all, and that is enough. And then, as naturally as you woke, you feel the second wave begin. Not sudden, just a slow, deep pull, like the sea tugging gently at the shore. You return to your place. The bed still holds your shape. The blankets remember you. You slide back in not as someone escaping wakefulness, but as one returning home. No alarm will wake you, no digital glow will intrude. There is only the fading warmth of your own body and the hush of others nearby, beginning to settle again. The hour between sleeps is over, and you are ready for the second dream. You are not alone beneath the furs. You never are. To the modern world, that might sound strange. They sleep in separate beds, in separate rooms, behind doors with locks and walls thick enough to forget one another. But here sleep is a shared ritual, as communal as a fire, as sacred as food. The warmth in this longhouse doesn't only come from the hearth. It comes from bodies. Yours, your sister's, the old man who snores gently at the far end, the little boy who curls at your feet because he's afraid of dreams. You sleep with others, and because of that, you sleep well. The long platform runs the length of the wall, layered with straw and wool, framed by timbers that creak when you shift. You've always slept here, shoulder to shoulder with family, workers, kin. At first, it was crowded. Now, it is a comfort. There is something deeply right about the way bodies align at night, breathing in rhythm, rising and falling like waves. You know whose cough is whose. You know who mumbles in dreams. You know when your father rolls to his side. The sound is like a boat settling into harbor, and you are safe. That is the secret, isn't it? To sleep deeply, you must feel protected. In this closeness, danger feels distant. You know that if the wind howls strangely, if a branch breaks outside, someone will hear it. Someone will rise. You're not the only one keeping watch, even while dreaming. The house watches for itself. Your husband lies beside you. His arm sometimes reaches for you in the dark, not possessively, but as an anchor. When you wake between sleeps, you feel the weight of his palm resting on your hip. A reminder you are known here, you are seen, and yes, sometimes there is intimacy in the night. Not rushed, not hidden, just the slow, soft convergence of bodies that know each other, wrapped in shadows and warmth. As the fire sighs its last breath, even the children sleep better here. They grow strong among steady heartbeats and familiar smells. Wood smoke, wool, skin, breath. They are not afraid of the dark because they are never alone in it. This is not inconvenience. This is sanctuary. When you sleep with others, you do not drift into the void. You rest inside the world. The bed beneath you is not soft, and you wouldn't want it to be. You lie on a raised wooden platform, just high enough to keep the damp floor from reaching you. The straw beneath your body is dry and freshly packed, replaced with the turn of the season, sweet smelling like summer fields long gone. Above that, a layer of coarse wool, then another, and another. The blankets are thick and heavy, their weight a comfort. They do not hug you, they anchor you. There is no pillow like the ones in noble houses far to the south, stuffed with feathers and pride. Yours is simple, a folded cloth, maybe some moss and wool inside, wrapped in linen, warmed with breath. But it supports your neck, and you do not wake with aches. The furs that cover you, soft from age, thick from use, carry the scent of the forest and the fire. They're not clean, not in the way modern people measure it. But they are lived in, trusted, familiar. When you stretch out, your spine finds balance. No sagging, no sinking. The firmness beneath you keeps your bones straight and your body calm. You shift less, you breathe deeper, you wake with ease. No mattress today can mimic what the earth already understood. That rest does not mean sinking, it means being held. The bedding changes with the seasons. In winter, you layer deep with bear hides, their dense warmth like a second hearth. In summer, you thin it out, just straw, linen, and light wool. You sleep close to the wall where it's cooler, shaded from the high sun that never quite sets. And always, you sleep close to others. Their movements shape the bedding beside you. Over time, a pattern forms, small valleys, rises, warm pockets where a child curled up or where your husband laid his arm last night. The bed remembers. It holds not just your weight, but your life. Sometimes you think of how others might imagine your bed. Rough, simple, primitive, but you know better. This bed doesn't look like wealth, but it feels like rest. And rest, after all, is the only luxury that matters. Before sleep returns to you, there is a ritual, small, silent, sacred. You rise softly, careful not to stir the others. The longhouse breathes behind you, warm, rhythmic, safe. The air smells of wood smoke, wool, and something faintly sweet. Dried herbs stored in linen, waiting for nights like this. You move to the wooden shelf near the hearth. A small clay pot, warm from the fire's edge, waits patiently. Inside is a mixture you prepared earlier: crushed valerian root, dried chamomile, a pinch of crushed linden flower. You learned this from your mother, who learned it from hers. It is not magic, though some might call it that. It is knowing. Knowing what calms the body, knowing what slows the mind. You scoop the herbs into a small cloth and tie it like a pouch. Then gently you lower it into a bowl of hot water, not boiling, just steaming enough to coax the oils out. You watch as the water clouds, then deepens into golden brown. You sit by the hearth and wait. This is part of the ritual too. Stillness. Outside, the wind has softened. The world beyond the turf walls is asleep, or dreaming, or waiting. When the tea is ready, you lift the pouch out, squeeze it gently, and stir in a thread of honey. You don't always have honey. It is precious. But tonight you allow yourself this sweetness. You drink slowly. The warmth travels down your throat and settles in your belly like a second fire. The taste is earthy, floral, slightly bitter at the edges. It tells your body, it is time. You close your eyes just for a moment, just to listen. The house creaks faintly, wood expanding, then relaxing. A baby sighs in sleep. Somewhere someone mutters in a dream. You've never needed permission to rest. But still, this moment feels like a blessing. In your world, there are no prescriptions, no pharmacies, but you have plants. You have patience. You have rhythm. You place the empty bowl back on the shelf, wipe your hands on your apron, and then, slowly, you return to bed, to the warmth still waiting there, to the shape your body left behind. You nestle back into the quiet, and the quiet takes you in. Tonight, the herbs will do their work, and tomorrow, you will wake not just rested, but whole. You didn't know the word melatonin. You'd never heard of circadian rhythms or prolactin surges or segmented sleep studies, but your body, it always knew. The world now calls this knowledge science. But to you, it was just life. In the glow of firelight, in the hush between sleeps, you lived in rhythm with the earth, not in theory, but in flesh. No one taught you this with books or measurements. The snow taught you. The sky taught you. The length of the night. The silence of your goats. The way your hands grew still after dusk. All of it whispered the same truth. You are meant to rest in cycles. Modern people, centuries from now, will call what you did biphasic sleep. They'll be surprised by it, amazed even, as if they've discovered something new. They'll find old texts with strange phrases like first sleep and second sleep and think it a forgotten secret. But you never forgot. You never even questioned it. They'll run experiments. Take people into the woods, strip away their electric lights. And those people, stressed and sleepless before, will begin to sleep like you. 2 parts, with a peaceful pause in the middle. They'll learn that the body, when given back to the dark, finds its own rhythm again. That prolactin, the hormone of peace, rises not when we force sleep, but when we surrender to it. That real darkness matters. That flickering flames soothe where cold blue screens disturb. That even the scent of valerian root, which you've held in your hands, slows the mind in ways no pill can replicate. They'll build machines to mimic what straw and wool once did. They'll measure REM cycles and sleep latency. They'll write books about what your grandmother simply knew. And one day, some of them will look back, not with pity, but with awe. They'll realize that in all their pursuit of optimization, they lost something. That perhaps the best sleep wasn't bought in a store or tracked on a device. It was found in longhouses beneath shared blankets, in the breath of another human beside you, in the wind pressing against wooden walls while you stirred a honeyed tea. And maybe, just maybe, they'll begin to remember. You sleep, and the world, without complaint, waits for you. Outside the longhouse, the snow falls slow and heavy, not in a hurry, not like rain. It has nowhere to go. It just is. The sky hangs low, like a thick wool blanket laid across the shoulders of the night. The stars are hidden. The wind has softened. Everything knows what time it is. Inside, your body lies still, but not rigid. You are curved into warmth, a shape that only sleep could have sculpted. Your breath is low and deep, like the waves that rock the ships tied quietly at the shore. Your fingers twitch now and then, chasing something across the fields of your dreams. There is no rush. No need to wake. No clock ticking. No list waiting. No expectation that you must earn your rest. Here, rest is your right. It has always been. The fire has burned low, just a faint red glow beneath the ash. But it's enough. You do not need brightness to feel safe. You are surrounded by the quiet of kin, by the closeness of fur, by the hush of 1,000 winter nights, just like this one. No dream comes with urgency. No shadow reaches too far, and if it did, there would be someone else here breathing beside you, ready to whisper, or hold, or simply be. You are not alone. And so, you do not fear the dark, the world beyond your walls, the forests, the hills, the frozen fjords. Continues its slow turning. But it does not ask for you right now. It has paused respectfully at the threshold of your sleep. This is not the kind of rest that leaves you groggy or unsure. This is the kind of sleep that returns something to you, some quiet truth that the day stole, a soft reminder that you are still human, still animal, still part of the night. Tomorrow, you will rise. You'll stir the fire, open the shutters, breathe in the sharp morning air. But not yet. For now, you are still. You are wrapped in darkness, not lost in it. You are held, not hidden. You are not disappearing. You are being renewed, and so you let go of your name, of the cold, of the past and the next day. You let yourself fall, not downward, but inward, into something older than memory, into sleep. And while you sleep, the world waits, just as it always has. If you're still awake, well, you don't need to be. The story is over, the night is long, and you are safe. Let the silence take it from here.